Hi everybody, welcome to another family video. Today, to celebrate Star Wars Day, which is of course on May the 4th, we are going to be making some wookie cookies. Now all you need for this is 300 grams of plain flour, an egg yolk, 140 grams of sugar and 250 grams of butter that needs to be a bit squishy. So, oh, and you also need a rolling pin to roll your dough out later and a pastry cutter. And we're going to add some chocolate into ours too. So, first things first, we add the sugar into the bowl with our butter. There we go. Now you might need a little bit of a help from an adult for this because this is a bit tricky. You have to squish all the sugar and all the butter together, just like that. It takes a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease as they say. Mix it all in together. There you go. Okay, so after you've been mixing for a little while, it should look all fluffy, just like this. Now the next step that we need to do is to add our egg yolk. Pop it in there. Now separating the yellow of your egg from the white of your egg can be a little bit tricky, so you might need a grown-up to help with that. And once you pop it in, just give it a really good mix together. There we go. Get it all in there together. Nice and mixed. And then once you've got it all mixed in, that's when you can add your flour. Oops, look at, I'm making a big mess. There we go, mix it all in together nice and slowly, turn it, squish it, so it all comes together. What you want it to look like is a nice dough that's not too sticky. Now, after you've been mixing for a while, what I quite like to do is to get my hands in there so I can scoop it all up into a nice ball. And it also helps all the extra little bits of flour that's not quite come together stick. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. Now, if you've got chocolate that you like to add, you do that at this point. We've got some chocolate here, quite big chunks. But you could use chocolate chip chunks, or you could do what we're doing and just have big bits of chocolate in there. And then you need to scoop it all up together in your bowl so it all comes together nicely. Now if you find that your dough is a little bit too sticky, what you can do is add a little bit more flour, but not too much, just a little bit. There you go. And once you've got it all stuck together, you put a little bit of flour onto your board, and that's when we can start using a rolling pin. So, here we go. Here's our delicious biscuit dough. Now what I've done is I've put some flour on the board and also on top of the biscuit dough, so it's easier to roll out, and then you just start rolling. And you don't want to make the biscuits too thin. Spread it out a bit. Oh, I can't wait to try these. These are going to be really tasty. There you go. Then once you've done that, you can grab your pastry cutter. Now I've gone for a really big pastry cutter because I would quite like some very big, delicious cookies. Because Chewbacca was quite a big animal, wasn't he? So these have to be big cookies. So you cut them up and then you roll your pastry up again into another ball so you can roll it out. like that. Gather it all together. Now this biscuit dough, you should be able to get maybe about 30 biscuits if you're using little pastry cutters, but because I've got a great big one, I'll only get about 6 or 7. And keep rolling, gather the biscuit dough together. And if you're using bigger chunks of chocolate in your dough, you can't roll it too thin or else the dough will start to break. Keep it quite thick. There we go. There we go. So our cookies are looking delicious. I can't wait to get them in the oven. Okay, so after we've rolled out and cut out all of our delicious biscuits, here's mine here, it's time to put them in the oven. Now what I did was I preheated my oven, which meant I turned it on before I started baking these. And I turned it on to 180 degrees. You want to put the biscuits in the middle shelf for about 20 minutes, but keep an eye on them, just in case your oven works quicker than ours does. Welcome back everybody. So once your biscuits are ready, pop them on a wire rack to cool for a little while. And then when you're ready, we can get them decorated. Now what I've done is I've just melted some chocolate here. You have to be very careful when you take it out of the microwave though, because it'll be very, very hot. And then all you need to do is try and make a face. Here we go. So we need 2 eyes for Chewbacca, and then we need a nose. And then we need, because he's quite happy, Chewbacca, isn't he? So we need to make it a smile, give him a smile. Like that. Now he wears a bell over him, doesn't he? So we need to try and put that in there too. There we go. Now if you're at home and you've got some marshmallows, you can chop up some marshmallows and add them on to his belt. Make it a little bit thicker, I think, because it's quite wide, isn't it, his belt? There we go. And then if you like, you can add some little bit of brown sprinkles. There we go, make it a little bit Chewbacca. There we go, and we've got some lovely Smarties that we can add. So this is going to be on Chewbacca's belt. He's going to have a nice bright belt, I think. There we go. Here we are. This looks fabulous. Now, here we are. Now it's a little bit messy, but here is our Wookie cookie. So please send us in your pictures if you've done this at home. We'd love to see them. And look out for our next activity. Hopefully we're going to be making some Yoda ears.